Hi guys, it's Jen here and welcome to Jen's World About Art. So this afternoon I decided I wanted to do a watercolour painting of the gorgeous little fennec fox. I've been doing Inktober, but I've had a big painting day today and I managed to get another video done. So I thought I just wanted to do a painting for myself and it worked out so well, and I managed to film it as well, so I sort of always leave my camera on while I'm working. And yeah, it worked out. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to post a second video today because I was really happy with this little picture. So yeah, so I did this picture. It's of the fennec fox. I'm doing it in schminky watercolours. And yep, just using all my watercolours, and right at the end I'll go in with the fine liner and my, what's it called, my Posca pen, just a little bit of white that I'd lost in the painting process. So yeah, so these gorgeous little fennec foxes, they're found in the Sahara, North Africa, the Sinai Peninsula and southeast Israel, and also the Arabian Desert. They've got very large ears, and these help them cope with the extreme heat conditions they live in. They can also hear their prey moving underground. They mainly eat insects, small rodents and birds, and they can live up to 14 years old. They get to about 16 inches long and about 8 inches tall. The main predators that these guys have to worry about are eagles, owls and jackals. So yeah, they're gorgeous little things, and so I'm doing this little guy in, like I said before, in my schminky watercolours, and I've just started to go in with yellow ochre. I'm running that all around his body. I've diluted it down a little bit more for the chest because they're quite light on their chests and their faces and the inner parts of their ears. So yeah, so I'm just mixing up some paint here, or getting myself organised. And I'm going in with a little bit of transparent sienna, just for the ground. And then I'm popping the shadow in, just around underneath him. I've made up a brown, and then I've made up a purpley colour, just mixing up blue and a red out of my palette. And now I've mixed up a very washy green, just a cobalt blue and a yellow ochre, and I've made this green up for the bushes, but I've made it quite wet and thin, so a thin wash, so diluted, so it's quite light, and I let it dry, and then I do the same mix, just slightly thicker, so it's slightly darker, and bring that, so it brings the bushes at the front a bit more forward, and then I let that dry, and I do some more bushes in front of that again, so it's yellow ochre and cobalt blue again, but an even thicker mix of it, and that makes, so it's 3 different tones of green, and it makes the ones at the front dark and the ones disappearing to the back a greyer colour. So it gives you the illusion of distance. I'll just soften up some of those edges. Now pop the sky in, just run that around, trying to get it as close into the bushes as I can. Just tidy up a little bit there, where I had a little, honey, what do you call it, a little cauliflower happen. So I'll just smooth that out a tad. Now tidy up my palette. And come back in with a bit more yellow ochre. And just take that around his little fox's fur and his goldy areas. He's got quite gold features around the top of his head and his nose. And he's got it down his back as well. He's quite golden there. He's lighter to his chest and his little face, so I'll just leave those light but darken up or golden up the back. Put a bit more detail on his tail, and his tail's got stripes on it, so I'm just browning up that little bit more. So I've gone yellow ochre and a little tiny bit of burnt umber mixed in with that, just to brown it up, darken it up, and just giving the illusions of stripes along his tail. Take that under his little arms. or front legs. And now I've gone in with a bit of transparent sienna in his eyes, just to do around, and then burnt umber into his ears to darken up the dark parts on the insides of his ears, and a little bit on top of his eye. And I've mixed up a blue and a brown to make a almost black colour for his nose. And I'm just going in with my marker, or my fine liner rather, and I'm just doing the very dark parts around his eyes and his pupil, and just the nostrils on his nose and his little whisker dots. Now I'm finishing up with the real darks on his tail, so that's just pure burnt umber, and just for the very darkest bits. Now I'm going in with my Posca pen just to put in those whites that I'd lost, because he had quite a few little white fluffy whiskers around his nape of his neck and down onto his chest. And just some final touches there. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I had fun drawing this little fennec fox. He was rather cute, and I'm really glad he worked out as well as he did. Yeah, I'll still see you guys tomorrow morning for Inktober. I can't wait. I'm really excited about the next prompt. So yeah, have an awesome day, and I shall see you then. Okie doke. Bye.